This video was recorded earlier in lockdown, and with the recent news coming out of Renault, you'll see in the video that some of our predictions have aged quite nicely. So please enjoy the video, like and subscribe, and yeah. Yo guys, welcome to this brand new video on this brand new channel. I'll do a later video explaining the content I'll be posting on this channel. But today we're going to be doing predicting the 2021 F1 grid, sort of this unfiltered discussion. And we got a special guest here today. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's John Okolo.
Yeah, and we're both F1 fans, and we'll be discussing and predicting the 2021 F1 grid. But my predictions kind of changed because of the recent news of Carlos Sainz joining Ferrari and Ricciardo in turn joining McLaren. So it's made our jobs a bit easier here. So
it has made our jobs a bit easier.
Yeah.
Surprising in somewhat that Sainz is going to Ferrari, but you could have said last season he was absolutely done a stellar job. Obviously getting the podium in Brazil.
Yeah.
Surprising,
for me,
but unsurprising.
I thought Ricciardo would join Ferrari. To be honest, he seemed like more of a better fit. But Sainz, he's younger. He has more years. So yeah. Wait. So let's start with Mercedes then. So, what's your prediction?
For Mercedes, I think for 2021 they will stick with their current driver lineup of Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. Lewis Hamilton has that team wrapped around his little finger. There's no way that he would allow Toto to put a young hotshot driver in like Ocon, like Russell, and mess up the stability and the atmosphere he's created around that team.
For me, I think the exact same. It's going to be Bottas and Hamilton. But however, I think it's their last season together. I think 2022, Russell will make his big move, his dream move to Mercedes. But that formula with Bottas and Hamilton, it's a winning formula. That number 2, number 1 partnership, it's worked. They've won the constructors every year. I think it's a winning formula, and it's not. If it's not broken, don't change.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Exactly. Yeah. So Ferrari up next.
For Ferrari, obviously, the news coming out this morning, I've gone Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Pretty simple. But 2021 is going to be interesting for Ferrari. They've got 2 young drivers in the car. Are they going to be able to contain it in the team? You kind of saw Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc back end of last season, especially in Brazil, where they run into each other.
It's an unusual formula for Ferrari. They usually have a solid number 1 and a solid number 2. But with Sainz and Leclerc, you can't really tell which one's a number 1, which one's a number 2. Because Sainz is just a rising star. You don't know his full potential yet. We're yet to see him at the highest caliber. So 2021 could be his year.
Same here. I think for 2021 though, they will clearly go Leclerc first driver, Sainz second driver. But if Sainz can perform in his first season and push Leclerc, I think if Mattia Binotto is still in a job, he's going to have a very difficult time managing those two.
Sort of mirroring that Vettel-Leclerc partnership. Vettel was the outright number 1 beginning of the season, but Leclerc proved his worth. Could it be the same for Sainz?
Yeah, could it be the same? You have to wait and see. Yeah.
For me, I predicted Ricciardo initially because I thought that Renault move didn't really pay off for him. He always wanted a top driver, a top team. He didn't really get that service at Renault, so I thought Ferrari made sense. But McLaren getting that Mercedes engine, it looks like it's on the up for them. So maybe, who knows?
Might be a good move for Ricciardo.
Exactly, yeah. Wait, so on to Red Bull. What's your prediction?
I've gone Verstappen and Alex Albon. Alex Albon, he's a quality driver. We saw it throughout 2019, how when he came, he wasn't scared when he came into the Red Bull team. He came in and he delivered, and in Brazil, he should have got the podium. Didn't. Yeah. Verstappen, again, like Hamilton, he's got that team wrapped around his little finger. He's the one calling the shots there. And I think that kind of atmosphere will help him one day win a world championship. and that's why I think he won't be leaving that team at any time soon.
Albon, you could see he pulled moves that Pierre Gasly couldn't. He was relentless. He was gutsy. Gasly couldn't prove that in a Red Bull seat. Albon could.
Yeah.
I think he just needs to be close to Verstappen to maintain the seat. I don't think there's anyone else who's threatening his position at the moment. The two AlphaTauri guys, I doubt they'll get a Red Bull seat ever again. So
yeah, they've both been in Red Bull and been demoted. We know how ruthless Helmut Marko has been.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't personally as well. I don't think they will be getting a Red Bull seat anytime.
And their young driver academy's like falling apart now. So
yeah, they don't have a young driver coming through for
exactly
for a couple.
After Tipton got thrown out of the driver academy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Albon and Verstappen. Yeah. So McLaren. That's really not.
McLaren, obviously, got Ricardo, Norris.
Yeah.
I really want to see how this partnership works. Two great characters, two great personalities in the same team. Are they going to be going at war to each other? Are they going to be helping each other? I think 2021 is the last chance for Ricardo to prove himself. If in 2021 McLaren can give him a car to fight with the big guys, then he has a chance, maybe one last chance to get into a big team. It's always been his dream to win a world championship, but that move to Renault almost put that into the dust. And now it's just about getting back to the highest level, winning races. And Ricciardo's 30 now. He's getting old. So this season with McLaren, next season with McLaren actually, it's make or break for him. And I'm looking forward to how he grasps that challenge. And yeah.
Initially, I thought Sainz and Norris would keep that vivid partnership. They work well together. They complement each other. Sainz had that team wrapped around his finger. He was the number one driver. He had that team. So I was slightly shocked when I heard the Ferrari news.
Yeah, slightly surprised.
And with that Mercedes engine, I thought Sainz would see it out. He's been there from the beginning, since this revamp, since Alonso left. So I thought he'd continue till they made it big time. So I was slightly surprised. But with Ricciardo, I can see it going well. McLaren with that Mercedes engine especially, they could develop to break into the top three finally. So
about time we see McLaren fighting for race wins. It's been too long.
Seeing McLaren and Mercedes fighting at the front, be a sight to see. Be nice. Yeah. Okay, so on to Renault. What's your prediction?
Renault, bit of a controversial one. I've gone Christian Lundgaard, their young driver, and Fernando Alonso.
Oh, okay.
I think with there now being an empty seat, now Ricciardo was left at Renault, Alonso is going to snap that up. We all know he has unfinished business in F1. And I think, although he wouldn't want to go to a midfield team, it's the only way for him to step back into F1. There's no seats at any big teams. This is probably, as a works team, this is probably the best seat he can get at the moment. And hopefully Renault can deliver him a car that he can go fight with the big boys again and fight for race wins and podiums. And I've gone with Lundgaard because I think Renault have had enough as a works team, all their best drivers leaving. I think Ricciardo leaving Renault, that's going to hurt them a lot. And they will probably want to go for a driver that can stay there for a number of seasons, help develop the team. And I think going for a young driver with talent, Lundgaard, will suit them well going forward.
For me, I went with Alonso and Ocon. I think Ocon will see out his 2-year deal. Toto gave him to Renault, but I think after Hamilton retires, that Ocon and Russell partnership with Mercedes will flourish. Yeah. But I think for now, Ocon's best bet is Renault. And I've gone with Alonso as well. As you said, he has unfinished business in F1. So
Yeah.
Alonso,
both
I
Green
don't
and
see him
Alonso.
going to Ferrari, Mercedes,
Or
any of the top 3 teams.
Yeah.
He wouldn't work at Mercedes.
It wouldn't work. Him and
Ferrari.
Hamilton did work in 2007.
Yeah.
Why would it work?
He's definitely not making a return to Ferrari after the Sainz confirmation.
Yeah.
Red Bull, they've already expressed that they don't want Alonso in their team.
Alonso. They're all about bringing the young drivers through. Yeah.
Exactly. And a McLaren return it's not on the cards.
There's no seats at McLaren.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't go any lower than Renault. Racing Point have their 2 drivers locked off for the foreseeable future. And he wouldn't go to a team like Williams. So I think Renault is his best bet.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, so on to AlphaTauri.
AlphaTauri. I've kept the same Kvyat Gasly simply because Red Bull don't have any rising stars, I should say, coming through the ranks. They got Daruvala, but in F2, but I think he's still a couple of years away from F1.
Yeah.
And they really have no drivers in their reserve. They really have got a driver problem right now. And sticking with what they've got, Kvyat's quality, so is Gasly on his day. We've seen that before in the past. So I think sticking with what they've got is the best bet for that team going forward.
For me, I've gone the same as you, Kvyat and Gasly. Gasly proved his worth at the Brazilian Grand Prix last season. He had a tough, rocky start at Red Bull, but he really came through back when he returned to Toro Rosso, or AlphaTauri as they're known as now.
Yeah.
And Kvyat, he picked up that podium in Germany. He had a few collisions here and there, but on his day, he's a quality driver, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, so Racing Point.
Racing Point. I've gone. Actually, it'll be Aston Martin in 2021.
Aston Martin.
Yeah. That's gonna be good, isn't it?
Interesting.
I've gone Stroll and Ocon.
Ooh, a return.
A return to the team for Ocon. I think with the new Aston Martin and also Toto Wolff having a stake in that team now.
Yeah.
He'll want one of his drivers in that team.
So you don't think Perez's long year deal?
Nah, Perez in the past has expressed how he wants to leave F1. How if he isn't fighting at the top, he doesn't want to be there. And I think with Racing Point going to switching to Aston Martin, a works team, Toto will want his driver in there. Yeah. Stroll will want his son in there. And now that it's works team, money isn't a problem. They don't need the funding and the money that comes with Perez or from Mexico. So Ocon and Stroll is the 2 I'm going for Aston Martin.
For me, I stuck with Perez and Stroll. I think Perez brings in the sponsors, and he has this long, is it 3 or 4 year deal?
Can't actually remember that.
Yeah, but he has a long-term deal with Aston Martin, as they're going to be known. So I think he'll see out his deal, and he might retire after that. But I think for now, it's a solid partnership. It's working.
So
yeah,
it is working.
So Haas. Yeah.
Ooh, Haas. I have gone for Kevin Magnussen and Antonio Giovinazzi.
Oh, okay.
I think Kevin Magnussen is quality. In that team, personally, he's better than Grosjean.
Yeah.
And there's a Ferrari engine in the back of that car. Do Ferrari want to lose Antonio Giovinazzi? I don't think so. I think that they will force a move for Giovinazzi to go in that team to maybe free up a slot at Alpha.
Yeah. For
one of their other young drivers in F2, F3. So that was my thinking behind it. And I think also that Giovinazzi-Magnussen partnership, I think it'll work well together.
I went with Magnussen and Hülkenberg, a return, because he's taken a year out of F1 before. 2010, he was at Williams, then he took a year off in 2011, then went back to Force India. So it's nothing different for him. And I think Grosjean, he can go off to Formula E or something, or like some other sort of racing Formula. He's been there for too long. Yeah. He had a good 2013 season. From there on in, it hasn't been a good career for him.
Grosjean is quality, but he just doesn't show his quality enough.
He makes too many mistakes. On his day, he can be an excellent driver, but he hasn't shown that for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. And I think Magnussen, he's a quality driver. He's more consistent than Grosjean. Yeah, Grosjean may have him on raw pace, but I think as an overall package, Magnussen is better than Grosjean.
Magnussen, that Danish fight to the death, never give up sort of attitude. Yeah.
Even though Max and Hülkenberg, they could have a fiery relationship, I think they'll be able to compromise and create a good working partnership and put their previous conflict aside. So I've gone with Hülkenberg and Magnussen for Haas. Alfa Romeo. So who?
Alfa. I talked about freeing up 2 seats at Alfa Romeo, and I put 2 young Ferrari drivers. I put Mick Schumacher and Schwartzman in the 2 at Alfa. I think Kimi Räikkönen, does he want to be there? He calls F1 his hobby. Would he mind if Ferrari went to him, sorry Kimi, we've got a young driver and he's going to take your seat? Would he just walk away? I don't know. You never know with Kimi, do you?
Exactly.
But I think Ferrari really want to push this young drivers through. They got a lot of young drivers wanting to come through. So maybe to put them in a Alfa Romeo, their B team maybe, and see how they are in F1. Mick Schumacher, obviously, son of Michael Schumacher, he will drive that Ferrari one day. One day he will get to Ferrari, and I think put him in the Alfa will be a good testing ground. Schwartzman proved his quality in F3. In F2 this season, will he challenge? We don't know. But hopefully he does, and maybe gets put in the Alfa and we can see what he can do.
For me, I'll go with Giovinazzi and Mick Schumacher. I think Giovinazzi, he's not good enough for Ferrari. He'll just see it out with Alfa for a few more years. Räikkönen, I think this quarantine, as some F1 reporters said, had made some drivers realise what's more important. Yeah. So you might just see it out with his family, retire. You never know with Kimi, as you said. He's unpredictable. But I think 2020 could be his last season in F1.
Yeah.
But Mick Schumacher holds the Schumacher name. He had a mediocre season last season, but I reckon he could do better this weird season 2020.
Weird season.
Yeah, so I think Schumacher and Giovinazzi, in my opinion. So Williams next.
Williams, I'm still undecided, but I've gone for George Russell.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm undecided between Nicholas Latifi and Jack Aitken. I think Russell's seat is confirmed. There's no way Toto will allow Williams having Mercedes engine in the back of their car and then not have Russell in one of those seats. So Russell is confirmed. Latifi, it depends on how he performs this season. Although he's bringing in the money, if he doesn't bring in the goods, if he doesn't bring in the results, then they've got Jack Aitken, a young buck, one who has won F2. He's won a race in F2 last season. He's pushing for that seat. And if Latifi doesn't perform, I think Claire Williams will have no hesitation in putting Jack Aitken in that second seat at Williams and seeing how he does for 2021.
For me, I've gone with Russell, obviously, and between Latifi and Dan Ticktum. He's currently, I think he's the test or reserve driver for Williams. And he's an F2, I think. Yeah, he has an F2 seat. So if he proves his worth in F2 and Latifi has a dodgy season, I think he could be in line for that Williams seat. Latifi, obviously, he brings in the money, as you said. Williams would suffer without that money, which makes me slightly lean towards Latifi for another season. But I think if Ticktum, he was in the Red Bull driving academy, Red Bull wouldn't have scouted him for no reason. So He's a quick driver, so I'm not
It's a
quite sure,
really
but
good-
I'm slightly leaning towards Latifi because of the
Yeah.
money. He's a pay driver
Yeah,
at the end
same.
of the day.
I'll
So,
lean towards Latifi on that one as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're both agreeing that Vettel
Yeah.
is retiring at the end of the
Yeah.
season.
I don't see a spot for Vettel. I don't see. He's a world-class driver. He's got so much speed, so much skill. You don't win 4 world championships by fluke. He wouldn't want to go to a midfield team. Each car he has driven, it's been a race-winning car. Toro Rosso, in his early career, maybe not, but he went to Red Bull, won races. Went to Ferrari, won races. The only seat I can see him going to is that Renault seat. Does he want to be in a midfield battle? I don't think so. Also think this is the second time now a new, young, fast teammate's come into a team, and the next season he's left. I think that I think he's lost a little bit of love for the sport in general. Obviously, he's got a family. Maybe he'll take some time out and go, spend more time with his family. Obviously, F1 is a really time-consuming sport outside of the racing. So I just don't think there's anywhere available for Vettel to go right now. And that's why I don't think we'll be seeing him on the grid in 2021.
I think the most likely option for him, if he was to stay, would be a Renault seat. However, also an Aston Martin seat. You never know if Toto Wolff becomes team principal. He could just recruit Vettel, bring experience to bring the team up and become a top 3 team with the likes of Red Bulls and Ferraris. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
It's unpredictable. This is probably one of the most exciting seasons the 2021 season.
Yeah, 2020 season has a lot riding on it for a lot of people. There's very few people that will say, I can have a bad 2020 season and in 2021 I will still have a drive. Maybe the only 2 you can say that is Hamilton and Verstappen. Exactly. Maybe not even Leclerc. You never know.
Yeah. There's a lot riding on this season.
Yeah,
especially it's a short compact season as well. We're still not sure how many races will take place. So
15 to 18 races. That
exactly
makes every more point that you get each race more valuable.
Exactly. Anyway, so guys, thank you for watching and tuning into this video. Please like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. And please share the video. Be greatly appreciated. Thank you for tuning in. And in a bit.